Hey there YouTubers, it's Dan Strong with Excel VBA is fun. Today we have a question from Scott Marshburn, and what he has basically has a button, an Activex button, and he also it's generating an error code 1004, but when he does the same code in just like a shape or that's got an assigned macro, he copied and pasted the whole thing into a module instead of within the ActiveX combo button, and it works perfectly, but he wants it to be an actual button and not a shape. So let's help him. Let's go into design mode. We're going to check it out. Double click on there. So here is the same procedure as the shape, and we'll show you that in a moment. I put a stop marker right here just about right before the error was generated. I debugged through previously, and I found that the error comes right about here, and we'll explain what happens and why it happens, and then we'll show you in the module. And it does work in the module. I don't know how or why it works. I'm going to show you, Scott, and everybody else a workaround. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll take it out of design mode, which by the way is in the developer tab in your Excel 2007 and 10, and I believe in 2013. What we're going to do is we take it off design mode. Let's click on the button. So I put a stop marker right here so it stops and waits patiently for me. I'm going to hit F8. That just says TDA. TDA is what we made this the worksheet called time track data. So that worksheet is now invisible because we made the dot visible equal to false. So now application.screen updating that equals false. That's a trick to speed up your codes, but then you have to make it equal to true at the end. Okay, here's the thing. He's activating a sheet that is no longer visible. If he did dot select, it wouldn't work. Now dot activate, I don't know why. He really doesn't need to do that, I don't believe. So hit F8, and if this is going to get the last row of that workbook. Looks like it's 3. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to get A1 through H 3 plus 1, so A1 through H4, and he's trying to select it first of all and then take that selection and clear it out. Now, so as soon as I get here and try to select something that is not on a visible page, you can't select something that's not the active sheet or a visible page typically. So I'm going to hit F8, and it says, hey, there's an error here. The select method of range class failed. And so what we're going to do, what I'm proposing that we do, instead of take the dot select and then using an extra line to say that selected content, clear contents of the selection, let's just take out the middleman of selecting all this crap, and I'm going to hit delete. And we're just going to use this one line. All this data right here, A1 through H4 dot clear contents. Without selecting anything, it'll just clear it out. That's a quicker way to do it. So I'm going to hit F8. It has just cleared that out for you. Application.screen updating is still false. That's probably redundant. We probably don't need that either because we already have that up here. Furthermore, we don't need to activate it just to do things on it, so we can clear that out. But this is good. This is good code here. Now here's another instance of selecting cell F1 and then taking the active cell dot value equals this, and then the offsetted thing and stuff like that. So I wouldn't maybe have done it that way. It's not a bad thing, but you don't really need to activate it. You can just say the TDA.range F1 dot value. Oh, I see why he activated it, so he could do this offset function. Okay, well that's fine. That's good. Okay, if I hit F8, it again says you can't activate something in a hidden sheet. So we're gonna tweak that really quick. I'm gonna hit delete. So F1.value, really just F1 equals total hours, And then we'll say, we could say tda.range f1.offset blah 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 if we wanted. Or you could set that. We could set, hold on, let me copy and paste here. If you were dead set on using less keystrokes, you could say set, give some random range variable name here. Set my range equals to this. And then refer to it as my RNG, or whatever you want to name this, anything you want to name that. So let's try that. Set my range equals to blah 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 f1. Okay, now we can say my range, or possibly my range.value equals total hours, and you can say my range.offset, my range.offset blah blah blah. So let's see how that did. Let's see, we already set it, and then my range equals total hours, and my range.offset blah blah blah. And you don't need to do the dot value necessarily unless you just feel like it. It's an extra step, but it's not a detrimental thing. Let's see here. My range.offset. Object is required. Well, let's put value back on there. I don't know. I don't think that's what it is. Do they want the address of it? Dot offset? Well then, fine. Well, let's just do this. Ain't gonna kill us. Alright, now I know there's a better way to do that. Oops, don't need the dot address. Okay, apologies there. No, this is fine. This is fine. So let's skip this. That was an experimental thing here. My apologies, Scott. Alright, so range f1 equals total hours. The offset is total square feet. And the offset going one more to the right even of that cell is going to be equal to hours square foot. Again, we don't need to select A1. I don't know why we would be selecting A1. Probably selecting A1 would make it look like we hadn't selected this giant range, but now we haven't selected it anyways. Let me take that out. Then he runs an advanced filter, which plops all the data that he wants. That's pretty clever. I like that. That saves a little time there. Okay, now we moving forward here. I don't think there's a lot more. Activating or selecting. Let's see if we get any more errors. Yeah, we do get an error. Okay. So what's the error now? Fence filter, blah blah blah. Okay, you're copying to range A1. But do we need to say which worksheet that we're copying to? TTSHT dot, what am I doing? TTSHT dot range A1. Maybe that'll do it. Don't know. Might have to have the, oh, it worked. Okay, so we just pinpointed the exact location. Not range A1 of the current sheet called notes, but range A1 on that sheet. So interesting. Okay. Now moving on. Okay, we're activating F2. And then we're looping something here. Doing a SUMIF function here. And without studying that, I don't know exactly what you're doing. But we may have to do this again with the activating. Yeah. Okay, they don't like the activating. So let's just use this. this range dot value equals that jive. This range dot offset, this range dot offset, blah blah blah. Okay. And again, we don't need to activate another cell to deselect the range. In fact, I don't think it'll let you if you have it invisible. But yeah, selecting and activating is something that you don't want to do typically if you have a hidden worksheet. So I'll get rid of this because it's usually unnecessary. We're so used to clicking on things and let's see here. Now what's going on? F2 is application worksheet function TBL total hours. Okay, here's the active cell thing again. This range dot offset blah 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 dot value. This range dot blah 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 dot value. Any instances of active cell, I guess they're going to get mad at us, so we'll try that, that, and that. Okay, tda.range blah 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 dot font dot bold. You can do that, that's fine. And we got some grand totals and things like this. I don't see any problem with that. That looks really clean. Scanning ahead. Activating the home sheet and making the visibility true. Oh, we're making it visible at the very end? Oh boy, that would have saved us some time. Well, you can just make that visible the whole time and just select that worksheet. Unless you have some reason or rhyme for making it invisible while the calculations are running. But if screen updating is false the whole time, they won't even see the report run. So I'm going to hit F5. And so time track data is now visible. Okay, I don't know if this is what you were shooting for. Interesting. Interesting. Let's try it another way. Well, no, that's it. Hey, if it's working, it's working. But anyway, that should eliminate the errors from your report. I'm going to click this button here. And I'm just going to, well, let me stop that. I'll click the button and just let it run. And that was time track data, so it ran its course here. Yeah, I guess it's working. Let's see. This is the other way of doing it. For some reason it just runs all the way through. Now it looks like this whenever you do it like there. Yeah, I think it gets an error. I think it runs the first part and then does not. It doesn't like finish off everything like it says it's going to do. I don't know. We could debug through that one. Let's click here. Well, I'm going to go to the time track data sheet. I'm going to have it not be invisible. I'm kind of curious as to what it's all doing here. So I'm going to skip that step. TDA.activate. Alright, let's see here. Select that range. Okay, so it's not selecting the full range. So it might need to be LR plus 2.select in this case, so it'd select the whole thing and clear it out. Unless that's what you wanted to clear up. But there's the clear contents. F1.activate. And then that equals total hours. This equals total square feet. And that's total hours square feet. Select A1. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Yeah, that's what we need to do, Scott. Now that I understand why you're selecting here, because you're going to run the advanced filter probably here or here or something like this. And this needs to be where it is. So I see why you selected A1 and everything. So probably, well, no, this should still work though. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll go through this. So you selected that cell F2 right there. You're doing that, that, and that. Activate that cell. Okay. Make those bold. Grand totals here. Screen update. Select the home sheet and make that visible. Okay, interesting. Now, let's do all that in this button and compare that. And I'm gonna skip the invisibility thing so we can see what's going on. We want to watch what's going on in this sheet and compare it now with what it's meant to do here. Screen updating, blah blah blah. So we're clearing the contents of something here. Yep, that did the same thing without selecting it. F1 is total hours, that's total square feet, and that's blah blah blah. So this is doing an advanced filter, and it's copying to range A1. So let's see here. Well, range A1 does not say employee name. So what is TT sheet then? What is this? This is TT data. So I made a boo-boo. Okay, I see what I did. This should be TT DTA, the data sheet. I believe. Yep, that's a valid sheet. So, okay. So now this should work. Hit that. Okay, it copied the advanced filter over. Last row is now 2. Now we're trying to do this stuff dynamically. And then there, and then there, and then there. Okay, good, it's working. All that's going to be bold. And then the grand totals, and blah, blah, blah. This good stuff here. And and then it makes that visible. Again, I don't know why you want to do all that stuff while it's invisible. It makes it a little harder for you. But that being said, your report is still going to work, because we've rigged it up to where you don't need this shape here. You could right click and just go to cut, which would delete that shape out of there if you wanted to. So either way, let's just for good measure, let's take a peek at it. In fact, I'm going to erase all this here and see if we get the same result by clicking our button. Now let's take a look. Cool, our report's there. Cool. And one other thing, the original one, we'll compare that really quick. Yeah, the original worked, even though you had that activate stuff, because it was in a module. I don't really know why it worked, but you can now make it work with your button. So your button works just fine. Okay. Anyway, gosh, I hope that helped you, Scott. Let me know if you guys have any questions on that. What I did to take away the dot select and the dot activate things, so that it could have happened, even though this was invisible, it was still able to keep on doing things. In fact, let's take out this line right here. I'm going to hit the apostrophe. Oops, no, not there. Let's do it on the text box really quick. Double click here, and I'm going to take this part and comment it out. So that means that it will not be invisible, and we can actually watch it happen. So let's go here. Let's go back to our button right here. This is our code that the button has, and I'm going to hit take it off design mode. I'm going to hit F5. And oops, of course at the very end it goes to the home sheet. Let me comment that part out also. Now we can take a look at what it does. So hit F5. Yeah, that was pretty fast, wasn't it? Here, let's see that again. Alright, here's what happens. I'm going to hit F5. There it is. Now, let me do that one more time, but without selecting anything. They won't be able to see it. I mean, all this, with the screen updating going off and on, they will not see any of this stuff. There's no selection needed. It's not going to take the selection off of wherever I clicked last, but it'll still run all the code that we do because of the way we updated it. Hit F5. There it is. Still on. Oh, well, maybe not. Did I select D10? I don't even know. I know I was on E11 a minute ago. And at any rate, I hope this helps someone. But thanks for watching, and God bless.